In what ways can free virtual PD uh, make a better educator? Well, I think the key thing is the free part. I mean, free at PD that the teacher gets to select is always going to produce more favorable results because that teacher can then find what they're interested in and then as a result participate actively more so or even look to find ways to impact their own education because what they've searched for is what they feel like they need help in. The virtual PD removes the travel aspect from it, so it makes it a little more cost effective for a teacher that has adequate internet access and computer access and the time required to engage in this PD. Um, I think that essentially what happens is that there's some paid things, there's some try to the one size fit all PD you may get at your local school or the school that you're assigned doesn't always really appeal to the time restriction that exists. So you're looking at a one-time professional development on a Monday or a Tuesday on one monthly staff meeting or whatever it is, then that staff meeting is only going to be so long. Or if there's mandatory professional development days, that may be a 1 day, 6 hour crash course in a topic or a skill or an approach, curriculum based or otherwise, that only is going to focus on that one topic. And that's fine, but you may need more than one a month. You may need four a month. You may may need to be every week. Some schools will have the collaborative planning times where teachers of the same subject can plan collaboratively. That may be 1 hour a week. It may be more than 1 hour a week, maybe two or three. But is that enough time? And what topics are you discussing? You're all theoretically in the same topic, but what about the whole student? Are you planning with other teachers in different disciplines about holistic approaches to improving student performance in all classes, not just the one that you directly teach? So free virtual PD, again, it's just basically the same idea as self-selecting professional development and then having the structure where it's self-contained to be able to function reliably in the time allotted. So if this is a repeating professional development that's sequential and with a goal at the end for your practice, then I think it will be more beneficial because it's something that can happen over time. Of course, there are costs associated with that are borne by the providers. Most of the cost is stuff that is probably eaten by either an institution sponsoring, or if the provider has already has the tools and materials necessary to create this PD and not have to worry about any extra overhead. Because if it's something that can be done where the teacher doesn't have to put any effort to attend besides just logging in, if the hosting is free for the video, if the internet is not necessarily free, but the cost of uploading said video or providing such bandwidth is at minimal or no cost to the educators or the provider, then this is something that can be, or especially if it's something that doesn't really require active practice, where there's no sort of review process, or if there is a review process, it's also an online process or a digital process. Then it just makes things a lot easier for the educator to participate and reply and participate. So yeah, I think it's just another tool in the toolbox for school districts or teachers to involve themselves, especially if as long as there's a PD available, as long as the expertise in the topic you desire is out there and is being offered. I would definitely see teachers participating in that more often, especially if there's a way to sort of have the proof or the documentation of their participation, and especially if it's accredited in some way, shape, or form, or sort of given gravitas by administrators or school districts in participating or even presenting these virtual PDs. I think that's one of the hang-ups, is that virtual PD, once that anybody can get on YouTube and create videos or have a live stream of PD with some Google questions and theoretic, and who's the oversight committee or who's making sure that these are aligned to standards. And that's sort of the concern that probably would pop up. And I think that as time goes and there's more of these that pop up, that come along and presented on more diverse topics, and teachers are more participating in them more, and continuing to list that that the in-person PD is not specific enough, it's not enough conversation, it's not in the ed camp structure, which fosters discussion and deeper thought. That there'll be more online PD than face-to-face. Not that face-to-face is inherently problematic, it's just that it's limited in what you can do in that space. All right, thank you for watching the video.